We're going to talk about a major thing without spoiling it. I think a lot of people already know that the Infinity Gems or the Infinity Stones are a big part of this film, and it's been teased in almost
throughout the whole series. Throughout like the Iron Man, Captain America, every movie that Marvel has put out.
I haven't read any of the comics, like the actual books that relate to this film, so I really don't know too much about the stones. And Angel here is actually an expert in Infinity Stones, so he's going to list all the stones and give us a little background of what the stones do, because the film actually doesn't do a good job at illustrating the power of the stones. It's just assumed that we as the audience know what they are and what they do.
Infinity Stones, they give out each specific power: space, time, mind, power, reality.
Yeah, so here I actually have them written down. So if you want to read them out.
Time, reality, soul. What's that?
Power stone.
Power, mind, and space. So they all basically do what their name
says.
Yeah.
So let's start with the time stone. Do you want to explain what the time stone is and what it does?
If you watch the Doctor Strange movie, the solo movie back in like 16, he uses it.
Yeah, that's our first look at the time stone,
Yeah.
right? And he wears it now.
Yeah. It allows him to go. It allows him to fast forward or go back in time, and then also look at all these like numerous
Events, I guess?
Yeah, events.
Yeah, so he can. So it gives the user the power to basically control time.
Yeah.
Essentially, either you can manipulate time or you can just look through time.
Definitely.
Backwards and forwards, correct?
Yes.
All right. So the next one is the Reality Stone, which is something that I'm not familiar with. Has the Reality Stone been in the? It hasn't been in any Marvel films before, right? I think it was in an end credit and that was it.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember which. I think it was probably even in Loki's Scepter. Or I'm probably confusing that with like the space one.
Okay. So what does the Reality Stone do?
The Reality Stone, it changes the perception of what a person sees. So like if you have the Reality Stone, like let's say like we're in the library right now, but if I had the Reality Stone, I could change it into like Chuck E. Cheese if I wanted to.
All right. Yeah, I think that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
So next is the Soul Stone. So you want to explain what the Soul Stone does?
The Soul Stone, it just basically like it gives the person the power to like decide who gets to live and who wants to bring back to life, die.
So it has the power over life and death, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, and then the next stone is the Power Stone.
It gives you like the power to pretty much power, but also like the projectiles, like to like do projectiles, things like that.
So it just gives the user any kind of superpower that he wants, essentially. So the next stone would be the Mind Stone, and we've seen this stone before.
Yeah.
In the Avengers films.
And especially in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's where its first appearance is made. So if you guys don't know what the Mind Stone is, it's actually the stone that sits in the head of
Vision.
Of Vision. So go ahead. Do you want to explain the power of the Mind Stone?
It just basically like gives the wielder the power to know things, and then just essentially like kind of like change a person's mind, like kind of basically mind control.
So mind control, cognitism,
Yeah.
intelligence. It's kind of.
And then also like force them to do your bidding, things like that.
Okay, so it's like. Okay, I gotcha. So the last one is the Space Stone, which is another stone that we have not seen before.
But it's been since the first Avengers movie with the.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
Or I'll have to edit that out. So we just made a spoiler, but we're gonna explain the Space Stone. All right, so the Space Stone is the last stone. And Angel, do you want to explain?
It just basically gives you the power to like go into one location from another without like having any problems.
So essentially, if you have the space stone, you can manipulate space time.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on,